Everyone thinks Adam Sandler is harmless. The funny guy. The layback one. The man who laughs things off. Joy Beer thought that, too. What she didn't realize was this. Some people don't explode when they're pushed. They wait. And when they finally speak, the room changes. The studio lights were warm, almost cozy, washing the set in soft autumn colors. The backdrop looked like a quiet park in October. Golden trees, a winding path, calm and harmless. The kind of setting designed to make conversations feel safe. Adam Sandler sat comfortably in his chair, legs relaxed, hands folded loosely in front of him, navy blazer, dark shirt, no tie. He looked exactly like people expected him to look, casual, approachable, unbothered. Joy Behar sat across from him, angled just enough to feel confrontational without appearing aggressive. She wore a polite smile, the kind that never quite reached her eyes. Whoopi Goldberg finished the intro smoothly. Our next guest needs no introduction. Applause filled the studio. Adam nodded once, a small smile forming. He thanked the audience, joked lightly about being awake this early, and the crowd laughed on cue. Everything was normal, too normal. Joy leaned forward, clasping her hands. So, Adam, she said, voice light but sharp around the edges. You've been making movies for what, 30 years now? Adam smiled. Something like that, yeah, and you're still doing the same kind of roles, Joy continued. The funny guy, the man-child, the goofy voice. Ever get tired of that? The question landed gently, but not accidentally. Adam tilted his head, considering. I don't know. People seem to enjoy laughing. I do, too. A ripple of laughter from the audience. Joy didn't smile. But don't you ever want to be taken seriously? She asked. I mean, real actors chase challenging roles, awards, legacy. Adam shrugged. I like making people laugh on a Friday night. Joy nodded slowly as if indulging a child. That's nice. But some people would say that's playing it safe. Adam didn't react. He picked up his mug, took a small sip, set it down carefully. Well, he said calmly. Safe isn't always bad. Whoopi jumped in, sensing the itch. Comedy is hard, she said. People underestimate that. Joy waved a dismissive hand. Sure, but let's be honest. There's comedy and then there's that. She gestured vaguely as if Adam's entire career could fit inside the motion of her wrist. The audience laughed again, this time more uncertain. Adam's smile stayed in place, but it thinned just a little. You know, Joy continued, some critics say your movies are comfort food. Empty calories. Fun but forgettable. Adam nodded slowly. Comfort food feeds a lot of people. Joy raised an eyebrow. So, you're okay with not being important? There it was. The first real push. Adam looked at her. Really looked this time. Not offended, not angry, just attentive. I think if someone laughs with their kids, he said evenly. That matters. Joy leaned back, crossing her arms. That's one way to look at it. The room felt different now, quieter. The laughter had stopped coming automatically. Adam stayed relaxed, but something had shifted. His answers were shorter, his eyes steadier. Joy noticed. She always did. So tell me, she said, voice tightening just a bit. Do you ever worry that people don't take you seriously because, well, you train them not to? Adam smiled again. This time it didn't reach his eyes at all. People can think whatever they want, he replied. That's kind of the job. Joy studied him, clearly unsatisfied. This wasn't the reaction she wanted. Not yet. The conversation moved on to a new project, to family, to fame. But the tone had changed. Joy's questions grew sharper, more pointed. Each one just a little closer to the bone. Adam answered them all calmly, politely, patiently. But beneath the jokes and the relaxed posture, something was building. And Joy Behar, confident, comfortable, convinced she was in control, had no idea how close she was to crossing a line that Adam Sandler would not laugh off. Whoopi tried to keep the rhythm light. She asked Adam about his kids, his friendships, the way he'd stayed grounded in an industry that eats people alive. Adam answered with that familiar, low-key warmth. Short stories, little jokes, a shrug that made the audience feel like he was one of them. But Joy wasn't done. Not even close. She kept watching him the way a person watches a door they plan to kick open. So Joy said, tapping a finger on her cue cards. You've worked with the same circle of friends for decades. Rob Schneider, Kevin James, David Spade, the whole crew. Adam nodded. Yeah, they're my guys. Joy smiled. Some people might say that's nepotism with better marketing. A few nervous laughs. Adam's expression didn't change, but his eyes narrowed slightly. They're talented, he said simply. Are they? Joy asked too fast. Or are they just around? Whoopi glanced sideways. Sarah and Alyssa both shifted in their seats. The audience's energy tightened again, like they had all collectively leaned forward without meaning to. Adam breathed in through his nose, slow, measured. We like working together, he said. It's not complicated. Joy's smile widened, pleased at the tension. It's not complicated for you, but for actors who don't have a built-in club, might feel a little different. Adam gave a small chuckle. You want me to apologize for hiring my friends? Joy tilted her head like she'd caught him. I want to know if you've ever considered that your success is insulated, that you don't really risk anything. That word risk hung there. Adam's jaw moved once, like he was chewing on the thought. I risk plenty, he said quietly. Joy pounced. Like what? Your reputation, please. You're America's pajama boy. People will forgive you anything. You could release a movie where you literally read a phone book for 2 hours and Netflix would still pay you. The audience laughed bigger this time because the line was designed to get a laugh. But Adam didn't. He just stared at Joy for a beat too long. Then he smiled thin and controlled. You ever watch a phone book? He said. Some great names in there. A ripple of laughter again, but it didn't release the tension. It just disguised it. Joy didn't blink. I'm serious, Adam. At what point do you stop coasting on goodwill and actually challenge yourself? Whoopi stepped in firm. Joy, he's made serious films, too. Sure, Joy said, waving her hand. A couple, but then it's right back to guy falls down, makes a fart joke, gets the girl. Adam's eyes flicked briefly toward the audience. He heard the murmurs. He heard the discomfort. He could feel the show slipping away from fun interviews. And Joy looked happy about it. Adam leaned back, clasped his hands together, and said carefully, why does it bother you so much that people laugh? Joy's mouth twitched. It doesn't bother me that people laugh. It bothers me that you're rewarded for doing the bare minimum. There was a small audible "oh" from somewhere in the audience. Adam nodded slowly as if she'd made a fair point. Then he asked almost conversationally. You ever meet someone who laughs because they're trying not to cry? Joy paused just a fraction. Sure, she said, but that's not. Adam continued smooth and calm. Somebody loses a parent. Somebody's marriage is falling apart. Somebody's kid is sick. They put on a dumb movie to turn their brain off for 90 minutes. That's not the bare minimum to them. Joy's eyes sharpened. So now you're a therapist. Adam smiled politely. No, I'm a guy who makes movies. Joy scoffed. A guy who makes movies and wants to be praised for being a decent human being. Now the audience was silent again. Poopy cleared her throat. Let's talk about the new. Joy cut her off. Wait, one more thing. Poopy's face tightened. Joy. Joy didn't care. She leaned in, voice slightly lower, more intimate, like she was about to share something real. People love you, she said. They think you're this sweet, humble guy. But off camera, are you actually like that, or is it another persona like the movies? Adam's eyes didn't move. What do you mean? He asked. Joy shrugged. I mean, Hollywood's full of nice guys who aren't so nice, and you've been protected by your image for a long time. The implication landed like a slap without the sound. Alyssa's eyes widened. Sarah's lips parted. Even Whoopi looked startled now, like Joy had stepped over a boundary that wasn't written down. But everyone understood. Adam's mouth opened slightly, then closed again. He didn't react the way Joy wanted. Not yet. Instead, he smiled, calm, almost gentle. Joy, he said, voice quiet. You want to talk about my work or you want to talk about rumors? Joy held his gaze. I want to talk about reality. Adam nodded once. Okay, he said. Then let's talk about reality. The way he said it made the room colder because for the first time, Adam Sandler wasn't joking. And Joy Beer, still convinced she was steering, didn't notice that Adam had just taken the wheel. Not until he leaned forward, set his mug down with a soft clink, and looked at her like she was the one sitting in the hot seat now. And the audience could feel it. Something was about to happen. The studio felt different now. Not louder, not chaotic, quieter. The kind of quiet that happens right before something breaks. Adam leaned forward, elbows resting lightly on the table, hands folded. His voice stayed calm, almost soft. But there was an edge now, a sharpened clarity that hadn't been there before. You said reality, he repeated. So, let's be real. Joy crossed her arms, chin lifted. She was still smiling, but it didn't reach her eyes. By all means. Adam nodded once. Reality is, I've been doing this for over 30 years, and in that time, I've learned something. Joy raised an eyebrow. Oh. Adam looked straight at her. Some people don't want answers. They want reactions. A murmur rolled through the audience. Joy laughed lightly. That's a convenient excuse. No, Adam said, still steady. It's an observation. Whoopi shifted in her chair. Okay, let's Joy cut in again. So, are you saying I'm baiting you? Adam finally smiled, but this time it wasn't friendly. It was precise, controlled. I'm saying, he replied. You're not actually curious about me. Joy leaned forward. You don't get to decide my intentions. Adam didn't flinch. I don't have to. Your questions do that for you. The audience reacted audibly now, an uneasy mix of gasps and scattered applause. Joy's tone sharpened. You came on this show to promote a movie. This is part of the deal. Adam nodded. Sure. Talking about the movie, not my character assassination. Joy scoffed. That's dramatic. Adam tilted his head slightly. Is it? He paused. Let the silence work. Then he continued slower. You called my work lazy. You implied I don't take risks. You suggested my personality might be fake. That's not critique. That's provocation. Joy's smile faded for the first time. I'm allowed to challenge guests. So am I, Adam said calmly. That landed harder than shouting ever could. Joy opened her mouth, then closed it. She wasn't used to guests pushing back without raising their voice, without giving her the satisfaction of outrage. She tried another angle. Let's be honest, she said. Comedy like yours doesn't age well. The culture moves on. Adam nodded. It does. And some people, Joy added, get left behind. Adam's eyes didn't leave hers. Funny thing is, every time people say that, another generation shows up laughing. Applause broke out. Real this time. Joy's jaw tightened. You think popularity equals value? Adam shrugged slightly. I think connection does. Joy rolled her eyes. You sound very comfortable on that moral high horse. Adam smiled faintly. I'm not on a horse. I'm on a chair on your show answering questions you asked. The audience laughed, but Joy didn't. Whoopi finally stepped in firmer now. Joy, maybe we know, Joy said sharply. I want to finish this. Adam exhaled through his nose slowly. Okay, he said. Then let me finish something too. He sat up straighter now. The casual slouch was gone. The warmth was still there, but contained like heat behind glass. You talk about risk, he said. Let me tell you what risk actually is. Joy folded her arms tighter. Risk is putting yourself out there knowing people like you will tear it apart, Adam continued. Risk is being mocked for caring about the audience instead of impressing critics. Risk is choosing joy in a business addicted to cynicism. Joy laughed sharp and dismissive. Oh, please. Adam didn't react. Here's the real part, he said. I don't need you to respect my work. I just need you to stop pretending your disdain is intellectual honesty. The studio went dead silent. Joy's eyes flashed. Excuse me, Adam met her gaze evenly. You don't like what I do. That's fine. But dressing it up as some moral failing. That's lazy. A collective "oh" rippled through the crowd. Joy's voice rose. You come on my show and call me lazy. Adam shook his head. No, I said the argument is. Joy pointed at him now. You think because you're beloved, you can talk down to me. Adam's voice dropped, cool, sharp. I think because I'm sitting here calmly while you keep escalating. The audience can see exactly what's happening. That was the moment Joy leaned back, lips pressed thin. She glanced briefly at Whoopi, then back at Adam. You know what, she said. Maybe you should take your sensitivity back to your sandbox movies. A few gasps, a few uncomfortable laughs. Adam looked down at the table. For a second, it seemed like he might let it go. Then he looked back up and the smile was gone. Joy, he said quietly. I've been respectful. I've answered every question. I've taken every jab. He paused. But I don't sit through insults disguised as commentary. Whoopi's eyes widened. Adam. Adam held up a hand. Not aggressively, calmly. I'm done being a punching bag, he said. The words weren't loud. They didn't need to be. Joy opened her mouth to respond, but Adam was already standing. The audience erupted, half applause, half stunned silence. Adam picked up his jacket, looked once more at the table, then at Joy. Good luck with the rest of the show, he said evenly. I hope the next guest gives you the reaction you're looking for. He turned and walked off the set. Cameras scrambled to follow him. Joy stared after him, stunned, and for the first time that morning, she had nothing to say. The applause didn't stop when Adam Sandler disappeared behind the curtain. It grew, not wild, not celebratory, uncomfortable, heavy, pointed. Joy sat frozen, one hand still hovering above the table, as if she'd been about to make another point. But the moment had already moved past her. Whoopi broke the silence first. Well, she said carefully, eyes following the empty space Adam had left behind. That escalated. Joy forced a laugh. If someone can't handle tough questions, Whoopi turned toward her slowly. Those weren't just tough questions, Joy. The studio went quiet again. Joy shifted in her chair. So now I'm the villain. No, Whoopi replied. But sometimes pushing isn't the same as probing. Joy opened her mouth, then closed it. She glanced toward the audience, expecting support. What she saw instead were divided faces, some stunned, some nodding, some clearly siding with the man who just walked away without shouting, without swearing, without begging to be understood. A producer's voice crackled faintly through the studio speakers, unheard by viewers, but impossible to ignore for the panel. We're moving on. Joy straightened her notes, jaw tight. Fine, let's continue. But the energy was gone. Every joke landed flat. Every transition felt forced. The empty chair beside Joy wasn't just noticeable. It was loud. Backstage, Adam didn't stop walking. A staff member tried to speak. He nodded politely and kept going. No rant, no victory speech, just a quiet exit. By the time the show cut to commercial, clips were already spreading online. Adam Sandler shuts down the view. Sandler walks off after Joy Bagger clash. Calm, controlled, final. Joy would later say the interview was spirited. Adam wouldn't comment at all. He didn't need to because sometimes the strongest statement isn't the last word. It's knowing when to leave. Adam Sandler didn't raise his voice. He didn't trade insults. He didn't stay and perform. He stood up and walked away. If you believe silence can hit harder than shouting, if you think respect has a breaking point, and if moments like this say more than any argument, like the video, subscribe to Pressure Point and tell us in the comments, was Adam right to leave, or should he have stayed and pushed back harder? More confrontations, more pressure, more moments where everything changes. See you in the next story. Experienced. I hope you never have to watch everything you've built crumble because of your own choices. I hope you never have to claw your way back from rock bottom while the world cheers for you to fail. But if you ever do find yourself in that position, I hope you meet more compassion than you've shown me today. Because everyone deserves at least that much, even people who've made terrible mistakes, even me. With that, Charlie Sheen walked off the stage with a dignity that seemed to surprise everyone in the studio, perhaps even himself. The audience sat in stunned silence. The cameras kept rolling, capturing Joy Bagger sitting at the table with an expression that was difficult to read. Somewhere between defiance and the dawning recognition that she had perhaps gone too far. What had started as a promotional interview for a small independent film had become something far more significant. A man who had been written off as a joke, a cautionary tale, a symbol of self-destruction, had stood up and demanded to be seen as something more. Not a saint, not a victim, just a human being trying to be better than he was. And as the studio fell into uncomfortable silence, one thing was absolutely clear. The man who had once declared himself to be winning had finally learned what winning actually looked like. And it had nothing to do with tiger blood or Adonis DNA. It was simply the quiet courage to keep getting up no matter how many times the world tried to knock him down. What do you think about this incredible confrontation? Was Joy Behar out of line, or was she just doing her job? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And make sure to subscribe for more stories that will absolutely leave you speechless.